All right, how's everybody doing? Back with another video. I've been doing these John Meadows speed warm-ups on my second lower body day. Not consistently, but I've been throwing them in when the mood strike, and the mood was striking me. I really like these. Pump is nasty on these. I feel like I say that about a lot of things. As I've talked about many times in these videos, I'm having a good time training right now. I'm just not trying to get lost in the sauce and worry about a lot of different things and just train because I like training. So for the John Meadows speed warm-ups, the way that this is set up, and he's kind of set this up in different ways. If you look at his videos, he's done where he works up in weight for sets of sixes until he can't do anymore. And then this more traditional model, which you've probably seen more often if you followed any of John Meadows' stuff, is this 15-15-6-6-4-3 protocol. And it is absolutely brutal, as you can see from my face. Leg extensions, for some reason, are infinitely worse as far as a quote-unquote pain standpoint in comparison to hamstring curls. It's just absolutely awful. I have the yoga mat wrapped around the leg pad of the leg extension just to get a bit more range of motion because I kind of bottom out. At the bottom, the plates kind of bottom out, so just give me a little bit bigger range of motion, especially since this is a quote unquote warm up, even though it's not really warm up. It's really kind of working sets. I just want to try and take the joint through the biggest range of motion that I can and get the most tension on the muscle. In the past, when I've looked at videos of John Meadows doing this, he seems like he goes into working sets after this. I don't really have the time to do that. I went straight into front squats. Well, I did hamstring curls and then went straight into front squats after this, and I felt good. I think when you've been training for a long period of time, or in my case, when you've been training and coaching for a long period of time, you kind of get caught up in I don't want to say dogma, but you get caught up in the way that things are supposed to be done, and you lose this. You lose this ignorance, but not ignorance in a bad way. There's this certain ignorance, like this blissful ignorance that you have when you first start training, where you're willing to try anything and everything because you're just trying to get better and you don't really know anything, so you have nothing to compare it against, whether that's optimal or not optimal. So you kind of just go out there and see what works, and I think that's a good thing. I think instead of just reading and listening to other people in conjunction with your experience, it's a good thing to just try things. And I think oftentimes in the day and age that we live in with social media, where everything's optimal or evidence-based or science-based, which again is all fine. There's nothing. There you go, thumbs up. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, but I think it can paint you into a corner where you feel like, well, I can't try that because that sounds stupid on paper, or I can't try that because that sounds like it'll be too fatiguing on paper, or I can't try that because it'll mess up my main lift, whatever the reason might be. And I just don't think that's the best way to go through training. I think there needs to be this kind of air of the unknown. And I think even as you train or coach for a long period of time, you need to explore different ways of doing things, as opposed to, I'm inside this box and this box tells me the way that things need to be done, and if I go outside of it, I'm either going to get hurt, I'm going to accumulate too much fatigue, whatever it might be. I think it's important to go outside of that box and do some fun things. And that's why I like people like John Meadows, because I think someone like John Meadows, Dave Tate, guys in that vein, I think they rode the line between, hey, here's what the evidence tells us, but also here's what my experience tells us, and also, like, I just want to train because I like training and I need to get the demons out of the closet, or demons out of the basement, as John Meadows has said. So I think riding the line between training because it's fun and trying to find the most optimal way to do things based off of evidence and experience is probably the best way to go. I know it's cliche, and in some aspects of life it doesn't ring true, but I think a lot of answers can be kind of found in the middle. But people get tribalistic and they don't want things to exist in the middle. They want to be a part of a team, and they want to have the answer, and they want to other the other people, and kind of look down on them as less intelligent or not in the know, whatever it might be. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, but all in all, with all these videos and the way that I'm training right now, I think it all gets back to like, hey, are we getting close to failure? Do we have good technique? Are we measuring some progress over time? And are we enjoying ourselves? Are we having fun with training? Are we excited to get up in the morning and train, or go after work and train, or after school and train, whatever your age might be? And the answer is yes. I get up every morning and I'm excited to train. And that hasn't happened in a long time. I'll go through spurts of it, but when you train for 20 plus years, it gets monotonous. So any way I can find a way to enjoy training and look forward to it, the more effort I'm going to end up putting in. More effort equals more progress. So anyway, here are the hamstring curls, as you see from my face. Although my face looks the same all the time. I could be doing 135 on a squat and my face would look the same as a max. So anyway, here's 275 in my front squat. This is my old PR. I never really put a lot of stock into front squatting because I sucked at it. I do wear heel inserts. You can see with 275, that was my former PR. Moved really, really well. Here's young Tyler with an easy 335. I don't wear weightlifting shoes because again, people just get so caught up in the minutia of I got to wear these shoes, I got to wear these shoes. And honestly, I just don't give a shit anymore. I'm not bringing a bunch of different shoes, but I do have some heel inserts because I have terrible ankle range of motion. As I've said before, I've broken my ankles and everything. So I put heel inserts in to raise my heels up like a weightlifting shoe, and I just slip them in. It's made front squatting better. Here's 315, and this was a miss. So I went from 275 to 315. I should have just went for the PR, but I didn't. So I actually went back down. Normally I don't do this, but I notoriously get in my own head and don't finish well at powerlifting meets, especially in deadlift. So I wanted to kind of come back and hit something. So this was a PR, 300 pounds. Again, not anything special in the grand scheme of things, but I was excited about it. I think front squatting, as I said, is going to carry over to my deadlift. You can see that my upper back is a weak point, but also, because of my terrible ankle range of motion, even with the heel inserts, my upper back has to do a lot in front squatting. I can't really stay upright because of the lack of ankle range of motion. So, I mean, Jesus, if this doesn't transfer over my deadlift, I don't know what will. I mean, you can see, like, this feels like it's 50% legs, 50% back. But I'm very happy with front squat progress so far. Again, is it anything mind-blowing? No. But, we're doing work. We're getting better. As I said, we made progress. So I'm happy about that. Now there you go. Got my punch. Me and my brothers went to West Virginia basketball game over the weekend, and we go to this arcade every year, and we call it the man machine, and all three of us go punch it and see who can win. So I got 912. My oldest brother got like 940. Not my oldest brother. My middle brother got like 940 or something like that. But I'm the smallest, so I'll take pride in that. I'm the smallest by far. This was a PR from the last. We've been doing it for 4 years. So that was my best. I never broke 9 before that, so I was happy about that. Does anyone else care? Probably not, but these are the things that make me happy. So I decided to do this weird superset, and it looks super awkward, but it really worked. So I did the essentially 45-degree hypers. Again, try to make it a hamstring focus. I actually have the GHR. You can't see it, but the GHR is raised up underneath or on top of two 45-pound bumper plates to give me more of a hamstring emphasis. And then in between, while I was resting, I did neck extensions because why not? I know it looks a bit awkward, but it actually worked out really well. I just had to figure out the dumbbell. So at some point in this video, you can see I kind of messed with the dumbbell a little bit because I couldn't actually bring my head all the way down. But this was pretty gnarly. I got a nasty neck pump. And people always ask, some people ask, why do you train your neck? And I think it's visually appealing to have a bigger neck, especially because I'm a smaller guy. Again, as I've said, I'm 160 pounds, I'm 5'8". I'm not a big person. So I think having bigger neck fills up my frame a little bit. From a bodybuilding standpoint, powerlifting standpoint, I think it adds to, as goofy as it sounds, I think it adds to the aesthetic of a good physique when someone has a big neck. I'm sure you've seen a lot of natural bodybuilders, and they'll have this great V taper, X frame, big shoulders, and then they'll have this like tiny ass neck, and it just doesn't make any sense. It just aesthetically looks off. So, and then it's just from a health standpoint, head injuries, things like that. Not that I'm doing anything crazy, but I don't know. Maybe I get in a car accident and everything moves except for my head because my neck is just so goddamn strong. I don't know if that'll actually happen, but hopefully I never get in a car accident. That'll be nice. So here you can see I'm holding on to the dumbbell because this did start swinging a little bit, but I think this setup will be really good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed my rambling and ranting. Like, subscribe, comment. See you guys later.